السلام علیکم مائی ڈیئر اسٹوڈنٹس. ہیومن ریلیشنس کے کورس کے حوالے سے آج تیسرا لیکچر ہے اور یہ لیکچر پرسنالٹی اینڈ اسٹریس پہ ہے. پرسنالٹی اور اسٹریس کا آپس میں بہت گہرا تعلق ہے. اسٹریس آج کی زندگی میں بہت اہم رول پلے کرتا ہے اور اسٹریس تقریباً ہر انسان کسی نہ کسی حوالے سے روزانہ ایکسپیرئنس کرتا ہے. کیونکہ اسٹریس پرسنالٹی کو افیکٹ کرتا ہے اور پرسنالٹی یا شخصیت یا انڈیویجولس یہ اس اسٹریس کی وجہ سے افیکٹ ہوتے ہیں اور اپنی پرفارمنس میں بھی اس کا عمل دخل آ جاتا ہے یا پرفارمنس لوگوں کی انفلوئنس ہوتی ہے بیکاز آف اسٹریس. تو اس موضوع کو چننے کی مین وجہ یہی ہے کہ اگر آپ اسٹریس اور پرسنالٹی دونوں کو سمجھ سکیں، دونوں کے تعلق کو سمجھ سکیں، کیسے یہ ڈائنامکلی ایک دوسرے کو انفلوئنس کرتے ہیں اور کس طرح کا یہ ریلیشن شپ ہے، تو پھر شاید آپ اسٹریس کو اچھے طریقے سے مینج کر سکیں گے، اس کو چینلائز کر سکیں گے اور اس کی وجہ سے آپ کے اوپر نیگیٹو ایفیکٹ نہیں آئے گا. اس مقصد کے لیے اس ٹاپک کو رائٹ ان دا بگننگ چنا گیا تاکہ آپ لوگ یہ سمجھ سکیں کہ اسٹریس کیسے آپ کی پرسنالٹی کے ساتھ اس کا تعلق ہے، پرسنالٹی اسٹریس کو کیسے انفلوئنس کرتی ہے اور اسٹریس پرسنالٹی کو کیسے انفلوئنس کرتا ہے، اور ان دونوں کے تعلق کی وجہ سے آپ کے کام میں، آپ کے ریلیشنز ود ادر پیپل، آپ کی ورک پرفارمنس، آپ کی پرسنل لائف، آپ کا پیس آف مائنڈ، یہ ساری چیزیں کس طریقے سے انفلوئنس ہوتی ہیں. جب یہ ڈائنامزم بٹوین دیز ٹو کانسیپٹس یہ آپ کو سمجھ آ جائے گا تو مجھے یقین ہے کہ آپ اپنی زندگی میں زیادہ سکسیسفل رہیں گے، آپ کے کام میں آسانی ہوگی، آپ کی آرگنائزیشن میں آپ کی عزت بڑھے گی اور آپ اپنا کام بہتر طریقے سے سر انجام دیں گے. یہ کہنے کے بعد اب تھوڑی سی روشنی ڈالوں گا کہ پرسنالٹی کیا ہوتی ہے. میں نے پچھلے کسی لیکچر میں بھی ذکر کیا تھا کہ پرسنالٹی ایک کلچر کی پروڈکٹ ہے، ایک سوسائٹی کی پروڈکٹ ہے، ایک انوائرمنٹ کی پروڈکٹ ہے. اس میں فیملی کا عمل دخل بھی ہے، اس میں کھانے پینے کا، آپ کے نارمز ویلیوز سوسائٹیز میں ان کا عمل دخل ہے. اور جو سوسائٹی جس میں آپ رہ رہے ہوتے ہیں، جس میں آپ پیدا ہوئے ہوتے ہیں، جو آپ کو بڑا کر رہی ہوتی ہے، وہ سوسائٹی میں نے پہلے بھی ذکر کیا تھا کہ وہ مختلف طرح کے لوگ پیدا کرتی ہے، مختلف طرح کی پرسنالٹیز پیدا کرتی ہے، مختلف طرح کے انڈیویجولز پیدا کرتی ہے. Now those individuals perform different things in different places in different situations. Now on account of that, personality, as I said, is a product of culture to do different things in different situations. If I take it a little further, I would say that society or environment or culture create different kinds of people. There is a different person in an army man, there is a different person in a teacher, there is a different personality in a student, there is a different personality in a sweeper, there is a different personality in a technical person. So now all sorts of people are, as I said, needed to perform various tasks required in a society. This aspect of personality, as I said, is linked with stress. How? Now let me explain how personality is linked with stress. Stress is a situation where there are demands on a person. Social demands, organizational demands, situational demands. Situation demands from a person to act in a way, to do something, to perform in certain way. When the person is unable to perform according to the expectations of the situation, some sort of pressure emerges. If that pressure is channelized and the person is able to do that thing, then that pressure is a normal, probably positive pressure, or you may call it eustress, or you may say it was good thing that out of that pressure something has happened. At times, there is so much demand on the individual, on the person, to do few things, and the person is not capable enough to do that thing. In that situation, it occurs that the person starts feeling pressure. Now, you see, this pressure, or if it is prolonged for a longer period of time, then it may transform into stress. That stress could be labeled into two different types. As I said before, if a stress is doing something positive on you, it is putting a pressure on you to do something in a given period of time, and you are able to perform that act, it is called eustress. And eustress is something good because it made you achieve something, and you did achieve. And if you achieve something, you feel good about it. You are happy about it. When you are happy, it is something useful to you, to your health, for your overall self-confidence. On the other hand, if the stress is too much and your personality is unable to cope with that thing because you could not do what was asked for, then that stress will have negative consequences on your work performance, on your person as a whole, and on your health as well. I will talk about these things later in the lecture, but for now, you just understand that there is a dynamic and deep relationship between stress and personality. When I say dynamic, that means personality affects stress and stress affects personality. Now, to explain a little bit more, because stress emerges out of expectation. This expectation could be your own expectation from yourself, situational expectation, cultural expectation, organizational expectation where you're working, familial expectation, the family you are from. All these expectations actually make you work. And if you are able to work according to the expectations, then there is no stress. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen all the time. Just to explain a little bit more, as I said, that personality is a product of culture. Suppose if a person from Pakistani culture travels overseas, go to the United States, go to Europe or elsewhere, now there are expectations of that society for you to act in a different way. Your training, your socialization, your person, your potentialities are from this culture, from Pakistani culture. But there are different expectations and demands of that society where you, let's say, emigrate. And many a times, you can well imagine that in that situation where you don't know the language, where you don't know how to, let's say, cross roads, what are the norms of traveling, how do you say hello, how do you say goodbye in different situations, in different cultures. Now that demand of that foreign culture makes you act in a different way. And that expectation generally produces stress on you. Although that society may be more accommodative because you had been emigrated to that country, and on account of that, they may give leeway, or you may take some time to adapt to that culture, and you may not feel a lot of pressure. But at the same time, it does happen. And it may happen in our own situation. Now let me explain why and how. For example, you are working in an organization, and in that organization you are working very well. You know the culture of the organization, you know how things work there, you know the hierarchy of command, you know the communication channels, and you are in a way fit for that organization. On the other hand, if you are transferred, or if you get yourself transferred, or if you change jobs and move into another organization, the culture in that organization could be different, but you are trained in a different organization. You may become misfit in that organization, in the second organization. Now, what happens that you are good in one organization, but you are not good in another organization? This is the disconnect or dissonance between your personality and the expectations of the organization where you have moved to. This aspect of personality and expectation creates some sort of dissonance, some sort of disconnect, which results into some sort of stress. Now, if you adapt, adjust, learn with the new organization easily, quickly, then that stress is channelized. And as a matter of fact, it may become eustress or positive stress, because you have learned and you have adapted to the situation. On the other hand, if you could not do that in fair amount of time or the expected amount of time, then you will have stress which may be negative in nature, which may have negative consequences for you. And in that situation, if that stress prolongs enough, it may have negative consequences on your work performance, on your health, on your happiness, on your relations, on all sorts of things which are linked with your person. So this dynamism needs to be understood duly and deeply enough so that you could avoid those demanding situations which actually could create that sort of stress which could have negative consequences for you. I will come to this topic again, whereby your own expectations from yourself is a major source of stress. If you feel that success is giving, or achievement orientation or need for success is giving pressure to you, and you are able to achieve what you are expecting to achieve, then you will be happy, you will be good, you will be gaining confidence. On the other hand, if your expectations are too high from yourself and you don't have those resources or those capabilities to achieve those successes or those achievements which you have set for yourselves, or the goals which you have achieved, which you have set for yourself, and your capabilities, your resources, your network is not supportive enough to achieve those goals, stress is a natural outcome. Now, what is the message I like to draw from this discussion is that you should always make realistic expectations from yourself. Those realistic expectations will make you achieve those goals which you are setting for yourself. And when you achieve those goals, you will be happy about yourself, and there will be positive feelings about your person. When that happens, it is but natural that you will gain more and more confidence. And that confidence will make you act more powerfully, more confidently in future, and you will be able to achieve better, and you will be able to perform better in all situations. So it is a balance between what your capabilities are and what your expectations are from yourself, and also the organizations which are expecting you to act and achieve certain goals. Now here, I like to make a point that in case an organization for which you are working, they are expecting too much from you, and you feel that you don't have those capabilities, or you are not that resourceful to do those things, or you are unable to take that challenge at that particular time, you may say no. Sometimes we say, learn to say no. So say no to the organization that I will not be able to perform, because if I fail, then you will probably hurt your own self-confidence. On that account, it is a match between expectations and your own capabilities to perform or to do few things. So, in an organization culture, you may say that, let me do this first. If I am able to do that, then I'll take the next challenge. So that is how you will manage yourself, you will manage your person, and would be doing more things in a given period of time more successfully. To sum up this discussion, I like to say that the greater the capacity of an individual to perform, greater the confidence of a person to perform, lesser the chances of stress. Now this match or this relationship needs to be understood duly and importantly. If you feel that you are confident, you are capable, you can do this, take the challenge. If you feel that you are less likely to succeed, then you may say that maybe I won't be able to do it this time, maybe I can do it later. And that is how you will actually gain more and more confidence in yourself, and you will perform better and better in future, and it will bring success to yourself, success to your career, success to your person. So this dynamism needs to be understood very well, and that will make you succeed in your life, in your workplace, in your friends, in your relations, and that is why this relationship between stress and personality remains important for you to understand. Now, I like to shift from explaining the relationship between stress and personality to the tools of those persons or personality which actually enhances your capability, enhances your self-confidence to do things. These are few tools, and I like to share those with you so that you could enhance your own capability, you could enhance your own self-confidence for doing several things in life, in family, in private life, in work life, or in public life. One of those tools is self-perception. How do you see yourself? How do you value yourself? It is probably the most important psychological factor influencing personal behaviors. In simple words, self-perception is the picture you hold about yourself. If you feel that you are good, you are strong, you are best, you can perform very well. But let me say, this should be realistic. That self-perception, that picture of yourself is very important. How does this picture comes to your head? This emerges out of your relations with other people, out of your interactions with other people, your family members, your friends, your workmates, your organization, your superiors, your subordinates. When they interact with you, and if you are successful in doing things, they will praise you, they will tell you, they will give you feedback. You did well, you performed well, thank you so much for doing this thing to me, thank you so much, you were good in that. Now these interactions of yours with people around, with those people who are important for you, with those people who are related with you, it gives a sort of a picture of yourself which you attain through the interactions with other people, through the feedback given to you by other people. Now this self-perception, as I said, is very important because it is an important tool in your hand to do those things which you are expected to do in varying situations. Varying situations, that is, in your family, you are gone to a bazaar, you are gone to a market to buy a few things, you are there to bargain something, your organization may have sent you to do a few things, buy a few things. If that happens and you do it successfully, you will attain self-confidence. So self-perception, in a way, if it is good, it contributes to an individual's self-confidence. As I said, a match between capabilities and performance. I like to share an example with you. I know a person, he is a technical man, technical boy. He was heading a department in a dyeing factory. He was doing his job well. But the management realized that this person is an honest person. They took him out from that department where he was doing a technical job. He was placed in purchase department. Now for them, it was very important that a person is honest in a purchase department. When he took the charge in the purchase department, he brought a lot of financial benefit to the organization for which he was working. He continued working for several years in that organization, although he was a technical person, because there was a match between his capability of being honest and the need or demand of purchase department that a person should be honest. It brought that person from one department, technical department, to a purchase department. Now this was a good match between the quality of a person and the need of the situation or need of the organization. On account of that, there was a win-win situation. The person earned more money and the organization benefited because of the person's honesty. When that happens, self-perception of the individual improved, and that self-perception gave him further confidence. So, what I like to say, that the picture of yours as an honest person and being acknowledged as an honest person enhanced self-perception of that individual. Same thing could happen to different individuals working in different situations in different organizations. And a match between the qualities of an individual qualities of a person and the need of the organization. If there is a good match, there is a win-win situation. And many a times, an individual may also take the initiative and tell the organization that I have the capability to work in a different department than this department. I may be able to perform better in another department rather than this department. You may take the initiative, or an organization, or the manager, or the immediate boss, he or she may take the initiative and tell you that your capabilities can be utilized better in a different department rather than this department. So self-perception is an important tool of an individual to do few things. And organizations value those individuals who know themselves and who know their self-worth. Self-perception, as I said, it contributes towards self-confidence. Self-confidence is a total ability of the individual to do several things. And self-perception can improve by a systematic strategy. And that is, if you take realistic challenges, if you take those challenges which are possible for you to achieve, in that situation, your self-perception improves. Another concept which I like to introduce here is self-awareness. Self-awareness is knowing yourself. If you know yourself, you know your abilities, you know your capabilities. And knowing those abilities, knowing those capabilities or qualities, you can probably decide or make a judgment whether a task which is being given to you by an organization, would you be able to handle that task, assignment, or a job? If you are able to do that job, and you know that you will be able to do, because you know yourself, you know your weaknesses and strengths, then ultimately you will feel successful. Your organization probably will reward you for being successful, for doing what you were supposed to do. So if you know yourself, then you can probably make such judgments about others as well. Suppose if you have to get things done from another person or a group of persons, and you know your capabilities, your leadership capabilities, for example, and you know the strengths and weaknesses of those persons in that group from whom you are going to get that assignment done, then you are more likely to be successful. So knowing yourself, knowing the abilities, capabilities of others is an important task itself. That is why I am trying to emphasize that if you know about your own strengths and weaknesses, and you could use those strengths and weaknesses to get things done, I think you will be successful in your career, and your organization is likely to be happier with you, and you will be able to achieve your personal goals in the short run, in the medium run, and in the long term. So self-awareness, I would say, is an important tool in your own hands, and you can You can be aware about yourself by doing an analysis by yourself, or you can once again get feedback from others. Now, I like to bring some more tools to develop your personality. I have talked about self-perception. I have talked about self-awareness. Now, the third tool I like to bring to your attention is self-worth. You should know your own value, what you can contribute, what you can do, what is the value of your work for yourself, for your organization, for your society, for your family, for your friends. This is basically marketing of your own capabilities, marketing of your own self. If you don't know the value of your own self, that means you cannot market your own abilities. In today's complex world, it is very important to market yourself, to sell yourself, to tell what you can achieve, what you can do. So self-worth, self-value, knowing the self-worth or self-value is an important tool to build your personality, to enhance your capability to do things. I think I did mention a few minutes ago that personality is basically a potentiality to do few things, to do certain things, to do specific things. That potentiality or that power to do things is important. And if you don't know the value of your own self in terms of what you achieve for the organization, what you achieve for yourself, what you achieve for your family, for your friends, if you are not aware, you will not be able to market or sell that ability or capability. In other words, what I want to say that excuse me, the self-worth of yours is there. You are able to do many things, and if you are aware and if you can value those abilities, whatever you achieve, whatever impact you leave on the organization in terms of profit, in terms of building the image of the organization, if you are aware about that self-worth of yours, you can tell, this is what I have done for this organization, this is what I can do for this organization. And if that can be done, you will be valued by your organization. You will be valued by your workmates. You will be valued by your own family. And when they will value you, they will probably reward you. When they reward you, it will ultimately enhance your self-confidence. And that enhanced self-confidence will make you do things more, will make you perform better, which is basically the main objective of this course, is that through improved human relation skills, your own work performance could be improved for yourself, for your organization, for your society, for your country. Excuse me. So, in a nutshell, as far as self-worth is concerned, you should be aware what is your self-worth, what sort of contribution you can make, you are making, and you would be able to make in future. And you could tell your organization, you could tell your parents, you could tell your workmates, this is what my worth is. And at times, you might have noticed that certain organizations ask from you what sort of salary package you are looking for from this organization. Why do they ask? Because if you are aware about your self-worth, you probably will be able to demand from the organization, this is what I want, and this is my worth. And if the organization where you are, let's say, applying for a job, if they feel that yes, you have the capability to deliver what you are promising to the organization. That means if you are aware about self-worth, then the organization probably will reward you the way you are expecting to be rewarded. Now, this thing is critically important for marketing of your own capabilities, your own self, your own worth. If you are able to do that, you will be relatively more successful than those people who are not aware about their self-worth. Many times, people keep on contributing for an organization, and they are not aware what sort of contribution they are making towards the profitability of the organization, and ultimately they basically probably start feeling that they are making enough contribution but not being rewarded duly. To avoid that situation, it is important that you have a realistic assessment of your own worth, your own self, and then you could tell the organization or the prospective employers that this is what I can achieve for the organization, and the organization will be able to reward you duly. Another concept which I like to introduce here is self-love. You should appreciate yourself. You should love your own personality. You should feel good about yourself. If you don't love yourself, it's a negative feeling about yourself. That negative feeling may create negative stress on you, and it will hamper your abilities. Many a times, your parents, your organization, your friends, your workmates, they pass some comments on you, and those comments could be negative in nature, or you may perceive them as negatively and you feel dejected. Now, such feelings of dejection, let me warn you, are important. Let me emphasize that feelings of dejection are important for you, and you should avoid such feelings coming from anywhere, because they are going to be negative for your personal development. In other words, the feelings of dejection should be channelized away. They should not become part of your person. Otherwise, such feelings of failure could actually make you fail. If people tell you some negative things about yourself, just analyze. If there is something to make a correction about, okay, take that message, make a correction, and reject those dejections, reject those negative comments of others, and feel good about yourself. Now, this is an important tool to develop your personality, to develop your personal capabilities. If you feel dejected, you will feel stressful. That stress will actually take up your positive energy, and you will not be able to perform as much as you would be able to do otherwise. This self-love sometimes relates to another concept, and that is you are loved if you sacrifice. Well, yes, you do sacrifice, you give charity, you do things for your family, you do things for your friends, and many a time you are not rewarded at that time or duly or even in future, but that is okay. You can sacrifice few things. That is, I think, also part of relationship. To improve relations, you can sacrifice few things. You can sacrifice your time. You can sacrifice part of your leisure time for doing things for your family, for your friends, and for your organization. But over-sacrifice But if you sacrifice more than what is due in this society, that over-sacrifice may actually hamper your energy, may depress your person, may actually kill or minimize or decrease your positive energy to do things. So sacrifice is a good thing, but make it realistic enough that it doesn't affect your own self, your own personality. You don't start feeling burnout or something, that you are doing things, you are just sacrificing, but in return you are not getting anything. Now that thing actually will make you feel sad, make you feel bad, and ultimately that will, as I said, create those conditions whereby you will not be able to perform optimally. So be aware that you should keep a balance in sacrifice and the need for being loved by others, by friends, by family, and by your superiors and by your subordinates. Now let's move on to another very important concept, that is self-esteem. Self-esteem is earned through success. Now this is very important, that you understand how you build your self-esteem. This is again, in a way, self-image of yours, the capacity and capability of yours. This is built, as I said, through success. How do you assure success? I did mention previously that you should take those challenges, those tasks, those assignments which you can do successfully, so that you could tell yourself that you took the assignment and you did it. You took the responsibility and you did it. When that happens, your self-esteem builds up. Taking responsibility and then doing it accordingly is very important. If people tell you that you are a successful person, you did well in academic endeavors, in your examination, in sports, in personal life, when such successes accumulate over time, your self-esteem improves. And that self-esteem, as a matter of fact, brings you success. And that cumulative experience of being successful enhances your self-confidence. Rewarding yourself sometimes, again, enhances your self-esteem. Now, what I like to say, there are two ways of experiencing success. Your organization, your family, your friends, your workmates may say that you have done well, may reward you financially, or giving you some sort of shabash, appreciation. That is one source of feeling of success. On the other hand, you can reward yourself. You can tell yourself that I took the task and I've done it. Many times people do things during the week, and over the weekend they feel that I have done what I was expected to do rather than more than what was due. Then such a person could reward himself or herself by going to a movie, to a restaurant, to be partying with friends. So in other words, you don't have to wait for feeling successful. You can make yourself feel that you are successful. Another thing which can help build self-esteem is accepting mistakes. Everybody commits mistakes. You don't have to be defensive when you commit a mistake. It happens. To err is human. गलती इंसान करता है, रिश्ते नहीं करते. तो हम इंसान हैं, गलती करेंगे. तो गलती करते हैं, तो गलती करके कहते हैं जी हाँ जी मुझसे ये गलती होगी. In other words, accepting mistakes will enhance your self-esteem. At times, you have intuitions, you have feelings, you have gut feelings. Learn to value those intuitions as well. That is also your own strength. You work on your intuition, make it successful. Let me tell you, it will add to your self-esteem greatly. You should understand that your person is very important for all sorts of things around you. If you get angry easily, this may hamper your energy. You may feel frustrated. That frustration of yours will diminish your positive energy. If you have high self-esteem, you are less likely to be insulted from petty comments. You are most likely to ignore such negative comments, and you will not feel dejected, as I mentioned before. So having self-esteem is very important for you as a person to do things, to do certain tasks successfully. So this is very important for you to enhance your self-esteem and not feeling insulted from petty little comments, and ultimately that feeling of failure or dejection or negative comments, it may actually bring some negative forces in your mind, and you may hamper your own personal energy to do things. And now I like to introduce another concept, and that concept is self-respect. Self-respect is your own feeling about yourself. Emotions is a respectable energy and psychological force. Be emotional and passionate about work and towards human relations. We should have the ability to show emotions as they show the strength of relations with others. If we are unable to show our emotions, we will be facing difficulty towards using this energy to get work done from others. Now, if you understand this concept of self-respect, it has a strong relationship with emotions. Emotions is a positive energy. If you utilize this energy for doing things yourself and for getting things done from others. Emotions, passionate feelings, passionate work relations, they get many things done. So what I am trying to convey a message about is that you should respect yourself. You should have emotions when you relate with others, your workmates, your family, your friends. Those emotions, those passionate feelings will enhance your capability, your ability to perform better. Now, we have talked about self-worth, self-love, self-awareness, self-respect, and some other concepts. If you bring all of them together, if you use all of them, they will contribute towards one thing, one concept, and that is self-confidence. And that self-confidence is your totality of personality. Self-confidence is the force which make you do things successfully. In other words, what I am trying to say, that all those personal attributes, which I mentioned 6 of them I think, those getting together, working together, enhance your self-confidence, and that enhanced self-confidence increases your energy, potentiality, capability to perform better in your work organization, at home, everywhere. آج کے لیکچر میں ہم نے اسٹریس اور پرسنالٹی کا آپس میں ریلیشن شپ دیکھا. ایک ہی سچویشن ایک پرسن کے لیے اسٹریسفل ہو سکتی ہے, وہی سچویشن دوسرے بندے کے لیے ہو سکتا ہے اسٹریسفل نہ ہو. اس کی وجہ ڈفرینس ہے انڈیویجول کیپیبلٹیز میں. سو اسٹریس ضروری نہیں ہے کہ ایک سچویشن میں سب کو اسٹریس دے. سچویشن مختلف لوگوں کے لیے مختلف طرح کا اسٹریس پیدا کر سکتی ہے. اسٹریس کی دو قسمیں ہیں, پازیٹیو اسٹریس اور نیگیٹو اسٹریس. پازیٹیو اسٹریس وہ ہوتا ہے جس کے ذریعے آپ کوئی کام کر جائیں اور آپ کو سکسیس کا احساس ہو. یہ اس کو ہم اچھا اسٹریس کہیں گے, گڈ اسٹریس کہیں گے. اور اگر آپ کام نہ کر سکیں, اس کی وجہ سے فیلئر کی, ڈیجیکشن کی فیلنگ ہو, تو دیٹ میں بی اے نیگیٹو اسٹریس. ایٹ ٹائمس اسٹریس از کریٹڈ انٹینشنلی بائی آرگنائزیشنس, بائی پیپل اراؤنڈ یو, بائی یور فیملی ٹو اچیو سرٹن گولس. یہ بات بھی اپنی جگہ درست ہے اور ایسا ہوتا ہے, کیا جاتا ہے, شاید کرنا چاہیے. اسٹوڈنٹس کو سمجھنا چاہیے کہ یہ اسٹریس کا سورس کیا ہے, اسٹریس کہاں سے آتا ہے, اس اسٹریس کو چینلائز کرنے کے طریقے کیا ہیں. اس کے بارے میں نے بتایا کہ آپ اپنے آپ کو جانیں, اپنی کیپیبلٹیز کو جانیں, اپنے آپ کو پہچانیں, اور جب آپ اپنے آپ کو اسٹرانگ سمجھیں گے, اس قابل سمجھیں گے کہ آپ یہ کام کر سکتے ہیں, تو پھر آپ کو اسٹریس, آپ کے لیے اسٹریس پیدا ہونے کے چانسز کم ہیں. آپ کے کریئر میں بہتری کے لیے اسٹریس اچھا رول بھی پلے کر سکتا ہے, اور اگر آپ اسٹریس کے ساتھ کام کر سکتے ہوں تو اسٹریس پیدا کرنا کوئی بری بات نہیں ہے. میں نے جیسے کہا کہ آرگنائزیشنس بعض اوقات اسٹریس پیدا کرتی ہیں زیادہ آؤٹ کم کے لیے. آپ نے دیکھا ہوگا کہ فلاں وی آئی پی, فلاں وزٹر از کمنگ, تو سارا ادارہ جو ہے وہ صاف ستھرا ہو رہا ہے, وہاں پہ ہر چیز وہ صفائیاں ہو رہی ہیں. یہ کام کیا ہوتا ہے, ایک اسٹریس پیدا کیا جاتا ہے فار کپل آف ڈیز اور سم تھنگ, جس میں آپ بہت سارے کام فوکسڈلی, کانسنٹریٹڈلی کر جاتے ہیں. تو اسٹریس may be good, may be bad, stress may be negative, may be positive. With these words, my dear students, I end my lecture today, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learnt it. میں ان الفاظ کے ساتھ آپ کو خدا حافظ کہتا ہوں. تھینک یو سو مچ.